by request. How are y'all doing today? I'm waiting for people to come in. I'm writing down a topic since it's supposed to be like kind of a compilation of topics. Again, just by request. But I'm happy to be here. Um, so I think, some of these like more random lives, I definitely plan on doing more of them in the future as I grow an audience. But lately, when I go live, I try to just do something strategic and plan. But again, Perk Franklin came to me with some topics that they wanted me to cover, so I'm here. I got topics for tonight as birth rate, friendships, the glorification of drug and alcohol culture, and like the way Gen Z dresses. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome in. I guess I want to start off talking about birth rate. I think that's a good place to start because I guess some people are saying that the birth rate is dropping. I think it's hard to tell because, like Cat Williams was saying on Joe Rogan's podcast, like, how do we know how many people in the world there are? Like, who's really counting? Like, not everybody does the census. Hey, what's up, Anthony? How are you? And you had asked me about birth rate, and then Perk Franklin asked me about it too. So that's two people who are like concerned about this. Where is this concern coming from? Like, are y'all seeing articles on it? Like, are you seeing news on it? Because to be honest with you, I'm really not concerned about it because I don't have any control over it. I don't care because I think I don't have any control, and people are gonna lay up and have babies, like, regardless. I know some people, I guess, are saying, like, I've heard there's some concern about a drop in birth rate and like, oh, there's not that many people having kids. And I told you, Anthony, people do need to have less kids. There does need to be a drop in birth rate. That's the problem now. Is it's a bunch of irresponsible people laying up, having a bunch of kids that they can't afford. They can't afford these children financially. They don't have the emotional bandwidth to support these kids, and they don't have the mental capacity. A lot of people are not smart enough. Hey, what's up, Perk? I'm on your birth rate topic. You and Anthony have asked me about this before. And I think this is an interesting topic, so I'm starting off with that first. But I was telling Anthony, I think people need to have less children because, and like, a lot of people shouldn't be having kids. That's the issue with the world now. That's why so many people now have unsolved issues and unhealed trauma and anxiety and like depression because like they wondering why their parents even birthed them into this world if their parents couldn't afford them and if their parents didn't really want them. It's a lot of narcissists who just have kids because they want somebody to control and they want somebody that's dependent on them. But a lot of people don't have kids because they truly want children. So like I just feel like the world could do with less kids because it's too many people, again, just being irresponsible. And again, a lot of people can't afford kids. That's the main reason why the birth rate is falling. Number one, people are waking up and realizing, like, I don't need to just be laying up having a bunch of kids that I can't afford. And a lot of people also are becoming more, I think, just well, here's the thing. I think as society becomes more self-centered and more narcissistic, we're also in a time where people are becoming more woke and more aware, more self-aware, and raising the vibration. And so a lot of people are realizing like it takes a lot more to raise a child than just money and just love. Like it takes a lot. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of selflessness. And a lot of people don't want to have kids because they want to protect their peace. They don't want to make room and make space for a child. And I can completely agree because it's a lot. Like I was at the store today and somebody's daughter was just screaming to the top of her lungs, like for well over 10 minutes straight. like just crying and screaming because of course she just wanted fucking attention and whatever was wrong with her ass. And a lot of it is because her parents have let her get away with that shit for so long. And she looked like she was, couldn't be no older than 2 or 3. But it's like, y'all, the fact that her father hadn't, pull her aside and let her know what it is and deal with that properly. And the answer isn't always to beat your child ass. But see what I'm saying? Like, that's why people now talk about gentle parenting, because it's a lot more than physical threats and like, verbal violence. Like, it really takes a lot of patience to raise a child. And a lot of people just don't have that patience, and they want their freedom. They want to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, with who they want to do it with. And her father, of course, he letting her scream to the top of her lungs because he's fucking overwhelmed. He's defeated, he's overwhelmed, he don't know how to raise a fucking child, and he just feel like, oh, she's just a phase. And I still got, like, why are you even here with her, bro? Like, you grocery shopping. Why are you even here with this little girl? Like, I know you got a baby mama or a wife. Like, why are you white? White people stick it out. Why the fuck are you even here with this girl? Like, you should have left her ass with her damn mom at home. Like, people stay doing that. Like, I don't know what it is, and I always say that. Like, when you have to grocery shop, why are you taking your kids with you? Leave your fucking kids at home. Because you hear and your children are running around, and having them with you is slowing you down because they want to run around, they want to buy shit. Like, kids are just too much, and I definitely don't want none anymore. And with people, having them, when you see people with them, that makes you not want any. Because what the fuck I look like trying to go to the store and grab a couple of things, and this child is screaming their fucking eyes out. And again, you got to come up with a way to calm their ass down. And again, the fact that he don't have no control is because he's not equipped. And there's too many parents who are not equipped, running around laying up, having kids that they do not need to be having. And so the birth rate needs to drop, because if you don't know what the fuck to do and you don't have all the skills, and you, again, no, I don't have no goddamn kids, and I'm for a reason. I don't fucking want any. And I have not met anybody like trust me, child. Like, I have not met anybody, and I've met a lot of guys who have money, and I just was like, I don't want no damn kids. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. Like, I don't want any children. I never have. Like, even when I thought that I did want them, I never had them. I'm very blessed to have no kids, because they make your life a lot fucking harder, especially when you're not financially stable. And I just was telling you the other day, Anthony, no, I'm not a homeowner. What the fuck I look like having a fucking kid right now? Like, bro, I just graduated college. Like, I don't have time to be running around like having no damn kids. I have enough financial shit to worry about. Like, I just don't have no time for that shit. And again, most of the world is broke, so they can't afford any kids. And again, people have realized the fastest way to stay in poverty is to have a bunch of fucking kids. And it's the fastest way to be miserable. It's the fastest way to be unhappy. And I'm not trying to make it seem like children are not a blessing. But at the end of the day, a lot of people just don't need to be having them. They completely alter your life. And people be having kids too young. And people be laying up having kids with the wrong people. And so the birth rate needs to drop. People need to wisen up and smarten up and stop treating children like it's a decision that should be made lightly. I'm so serious. People need to really understand there are real repercussions and consequences with having fucking kids, and it's going to change your life forever, and you have to be ready for that shit. And you need to be able to, again, put yourself aside and put your child first, so that way you don't raise a fucking weirdo. So birth rate needs to drop. I still see a bunch of people laying up having children. So that's why I feel like, has the birth rate really dropped? Because every time I turn around, somebody pregnant. But again, in the Bible, people used to wait till like in their 40s and shit to have kids. Like, what we see now is not normal. Like, when I'm serious, like in the Bible, People used to have kids way later in life. It's for real. People used to always also live longer, but people would have children later. So again, just like getting married, having children is not something that should be played with. So it's not for everybody. And most people who have kids shouldn't have kids. They're not smart and they're not rich. I said what the fuck I said. Let's go ahead and get on the glorification of drugs and alcohol culture. Perk Franklin asked me to talk about that. I mean, look, Perk, drugs and alcohol are the gateways to demonic possession. That shit's gonna always be pushed and glorified. The devil gotta make his shit look good, you know? He wants you to get drunk. So again, you letting spirits in. He wants you to smoke and pop pills and shoot up and do all other kind of weird shit because you letting spirits in. It just is the way it is. So we gonna always have a glorification of getting high, getting drunk. People use these methods as forms of escapism. Okay, people want to have fun, they want to relax, they want to forget about the past, they want to forget about their worries. Again, they want to escape. And so people do drugs and alcohol. It's going to always be around, and you know, companies going to always promote it. People been getting high and drunk again since the beginning of time. So it's going to always be around. And lately, yes, well, I mean, shit, for years, getting drunk and drinking, you know, has been glorified. And now, you know, recreational drug usage is glorified, mainly because the government is involved and private companies are involved. I've talked to y'all about Future being involved with Big Pharma, and it's clearly obvious that he is. And then as far as weed, the government now sells weed. So the real reason why weed is stronger and more addictive than ever is because it's GMO weed. Like, for real. The thing is, like, with weed, like, you scared to buy it off of a street dude because it could be laced with fentanyl. But then you scared to get it from a dispensary because it might be GMO. Right. Because the government done got their hand in it. That's why. They have all of that shit at dispensaries now because the government is involved. They getting they cut. And again, it's that shit is fucked up. You know, the government be involved in this stuff. The government sells more drugs than anybody. The government is responsible for, again, crack and all that other shit. You know, again, all of these cartels coming over here smuggling because they're here because of the government. So the government gonna push their own product. That's why it's when you start to wake up, it's obvious that it's obvious that the rappers and stuff in the music industry is government funded and affiliated with the CIA because those same people put the drugs here. And so those same people are going to promote them in music. It's just like with the brands I was telling y'all about. Like, the companies have a product and then they're going to hire, again, celebrities and musical artists to push their product, whether it's in music or whether it's in paparazzi photos and red carpets. You know, we live in a consumerist, capitalistic society where people are always trying to sell you something. The government got to run ads for their product, just like the corporate people got to run ads for their product. It's business, you know, it's nothing personal. It's evil business, but it's business. And then you asked me about friendships. Okay, when it comes to friendships, again, the world is becoming more and more narcissistic. But on another hand, the world is also becoming more woke and more self-aware. And so people just not going for the same shit. People are either requiring more than what they can give. You know, they want somebody who's going to tolerate disrespect. They want somebody who is going to just put up with all of their shit and deal with their shit. And then you have other people who are like, No, like I have more self-respect than that. I'm not gonna be dealing with you. Like, and I've cut a lot of people off because it's just like, you know what, I see how you move, I see you doing little shit, and fuck it, like I'm gonna just cut you off because I don't need no friends that fucking bad. Like, I don't. I've had to do a lot by myself or with very little help. So, and it hasn't been from no motherfucking friends. So at the end of the day, it's just like a lot of people are narcissists, just looking for somebody or who's around to make them feel better than that other person. Like, people have talked about that on TikTok. A lot of times, once you level up, people don't want to be your friend no more because the whole relationship was contingent upon them feeling like they were better than you. Like, you were just around to boost their self esteem. And then again, you got friends who very wishy washy. Like, one minute they cool, and then the next minute they running behind a nigga, you know and or just a lot of friendships just don't have no substance. Like, if every time you and them hanging out, y'all always drinking and smoking, you know what I mean? Like, every time y'all hang out, y'all smoking and shit. That's not somebody you need to be really around because y'all not really like doing productive shit. Y'all spend all y'all time drinking and smoking together like junkies. That's not really your friend. That's not really no real friendship. And it's a lot of that going on too. And so again, it's a lot of like fake ass. I mean, tobacco is addictive. I don't know if I want to consider it a drug, but if if something is addictive, it could be considered a drug. I think, again, I'm a part of the majority that feels like it's normalized and it's mass consumed, mass produced. So is it really that big of an issue, or is it really that crazy? But on a serious note, like, could I consider a black amount of drug? Again, I consider tobacco products highly addictive. To some people, I don't have the issue. I don't like tobacco, period. Like, hookah makes my stomach like queasy, and I can't smoke blunts neither because, again, it just tobacco, just I have a aversion to it. But there are people who really, really take to it, and it could be very addictive, and anything that's addictive could be a drug. But I don't judge nobody for smoking black amounts. I don't care what you do. Like, you gotta figure that shit out for yourself, you know? Um, if you want to smoke black amounts, who am I to tell you not to? And I don't judge you if you smoke black amounts. Like, I literally am indifferent. I do not care. But again, I used to be a heavy drinker and a heavy smoker, so I can't. I'm completely sober, but I can't like judge anybody, and I just don't care. But again, let's talk about these fake ass friends. A lot of friendships ain't built on a solid foundation. If you and that person only friends because, again, y'all both smoke and drink, that's probably not a real friendship. If you and them only friends because y'all have the same enemies, that's not a friendship. Like, somebody not your real friend because if push came to shove and you needed some help for real, and if they can't give you help or they won't, that's not your friend, period. If you call your friend and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I need somewhere to stay, like, can I come stay with you? Whatever. If your friend say no and they got their own place, that's not really your friend. Like, a real friend is gonna help you out, is gonna like really like stick by your side. Like, it's too many people who just conditional. Like, oh, they only your friend if you have certain things, or they only your friend, saying you only hang out with them again when you're doing low vibrational shit, when it's time to like study, when it's time to start a business, when it's time to, you know what I mean, like really do some productive shit, they're nowhere to be found. Those not friends. So a lot of people don't know what it means to be friends. We live in a very self-serving society that's, again, highly narcissistic these days. And as the good people heal and realize what they have to offer and become more aware of what's going on around them and more aware of themselves, they just stop putting up with shit and they be like, again, I'm good on my own. So it just is what it is. Let's talk about, you had asked me about Gen Z, the way they dress. Gen Z, in my opinion, like, a lot of them, don't they just be borrowing like 90s Y2K style? I don't find them to be very original. They seem like they're living in like this state of like nostalgia where, you know, and here's the thing, like, to an extent, I gotta throw them a bone because fashion is very cyclical. Like, there's nothing new in fashion, really. Like, you know, people just bring back styles, you know, like, stuff goes in, stuff comes in style and then stuff goes out of style over and over and over again. So, right now, Gen Z is just really loving a bunch of different trends. I'm gonna say that they're very trendy, but they got bigger shit to be worried about than fucking fashion. But yeah, Gen Z is really trendy. They love that 90s shit. They also like to wear a lot of oversized, boxy shit, which I don't fuck with. Or they want to do, like, I see this big trend in like siren core. Like, again, like, it's trends. Like, a lot of it isn't classic, and like they've even like turned classic shit into a trend. Like, everybody want to rock with Laurel Piana and like old money, you know what I'm saying? Old money style, old money like luxury. Like, again, like, they're not really classic. Like, they follow up behind a lot of trends, and they don't have like, because they keep a lot of people in Gen Z usually spend most of their time on TikTok, and it's a lot of groupthink over there. So they keep riding waves, and like TikTok is a very like fast moving platform where things like come and go real quick. And so I just find a bunch of like wave riders in Gen Z when it comes to style and fashion. And so I feel like we have a generation of people who just, again, whatever is hot, like on TikTok, like somebody gets up on there and, you know, go viral, and then they just buying that and they following that. Whereas, like, you know, very few people kind of have like their own sense of style and kind of like make their own wave and like ride their own wave and come up with what they're going to wear. But a lot of people can't dress. A lot of people can't do a lot on their own. A lot of people don't have a sense of self. They don't have a sense of self. And so they always just like let somebody else come up with a concept for them, and then they're going to follow that. A lot of people can't think for themselves. They have no creativity. They have no originality. Again, they have no identity. So, again, if it goes viral, here they come, happy to follow. Whereas there's very few of us who, again, have their own style, have their own sense of style, have an idea of how they want to put together an outfit, or have an idea of how they want to wear their hair, or have an idea, you know, of how they want to do their makeup that suits them and their personal aesthetic. And then they just ride with that and they build, you know, a wardrobe and a makeup collection based off of how they want to self-present. But a lot of people don't have that enough originality, you know. Like, people really be going to the nail tech, bringing pictures of other bitches' nails. And I know that that's common, but I just am blessed to be original and creative and artistic. So I just always be like, okay, I want you to do this. Like, I want this color and then do this design. Like, I come with my own idea, period. I don't show people inspo. Like, you know, and if I do, I still say, okay, I like this, but I want you to change this and then do something else, you know? Like, I just never follow completely what somebody else does. And I don't ride trends. Like, I just never been that way. Like, I do what I want to do in my own time and when I'm ready to do it, especially when it comes to clothes and fashion. Like, I've always, like, had my own sense of style. Always. You can ask my mother. Ever since I was a very small child, always had my own sense of style. But a lot of people are just not like that. Being creative and original is a gift. It's a gift. A lot of people don't have the third eye and the sensitivity, the spiritual sensitivity to be able to see creative ideas and be able to come up with creative and original concepts. So thus they spend their whole life, you know, deriding other people because they just don't have the gift. Being original, being creative, being artistic is a gift. It's a spiritual gift. And many people don't have it. They do not see. It comes with the gift of sight. You have to be able to see things in your head. And many people will be like, I could have never thought of that. I had never, because they don't have that gift. And a lot of the beauty of having a gift is you and other gifted people see different things. Because again, God has gifted you each with your own, you know, saying something unique. And so a lot of people just we're not gifted in that way. And so they don't have that like third eye, you know, again, or that like spiritual sensitivity to spiritual awareness, whatever, to come to generate ideas. So let me know if y'all want me to touch on other things. Perk, come on, let me know, because I've been on here for like 30 minutes. I don't know if I'm missing something. I wrote down some stuff. Again, I do have to come to y'all. I have to really, really watch Death Valley so I can come to y'all with a review and a breakdown. But like anybody who's here, if you have any suggestions on like other topics that you want me to cover before I end this live, let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, because you know, you asked me for a live. I'm just here to be real, give you my real opinion, give you my real thoughts. Because, you know, again, like people just be taking a lot of shit real light. But a lot of people don't think deeply. And like when you are a deep thinker, you realize like shit really not as light as you think it is. It's like shit really be heavy. And then a lot of shit, like the world is upside down. So like the shit that people take heavily really be light. And the shit that people take lightly really be heavy. Okay, for real. Okay, I'm happy about that. I'm glad you are, you know, fed. I fed my fans. Y'all gotta go check out that new video. I'm glad I fixed that Glorilla and JT video, because that's really becoming a topic. And I told y'all I'm on TikTok. Y'all gotta go check out my TikTok, because I really be on there. Like, I'm able to do, just have more flexibility over there, because I can make videos longer. Like I can make short form that's longer than a minute. So that gives me the ability to cover a topic in a short amount of time, but still cover more than I'm able to do in 60 seconds. Now that's going to change tomorrow, but still my TikTok is lit. Way more followers, way more comments, way more vibes. So y'all go check me out on TikTok. And of course, if you care, join the Discord where we can really have more like real conversations. But thank you, Perk. Thank you, Anthony, for dropping in. And of course, like giving your commentary, participating. Perk, I'm glad that you again are happy with this live. Anthony, I'm glad that I was able to get some questions answered for you too. I'm gonna go ahead and put this live up for replay. And again, you guys have a great night. Just thank you one more time. And I will talk to y'all very, very soon. If you have more requests, go ahead and send them in. And with that, I'm signing off. Bye, y'all.